The new season's barely begun, but QPR are already back in action, heading to Home Park on Tuesday night to face Plymouth Argyle in the Carabao Cup. Joining me for this preview is Ben from Argyle Life to talk about the Pilgrims' return to League One, their summer business and their likely starting 11, while I'll also be sharing my thoughts on the R's chances at the end. If you're new to the channel, I'm Connor aka Hoopser, and I'll make QPR match previews, reactions, features and interviews, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Hi Ben, how are you mate? Good summer?
Yeah, as good as can be expected, I think, when you've been relegated and your team gets completely gutted. But we've got at least got a new start to focus on and to think about and hope for a new dawn rather than the end of an era. So yeah, if we think positively, I think the summer's been at least interesting and eventful, if nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're here to chat about QPR visiting Plymouth Argyle in the Cup on Tuesday evening. But yeah, first of all, tell me a bit more about that summer window. And of course, your League One season has started as well.
Yes, indeed. I wish it hadn't started because we lost 3-1 at home to Barnsley on the opening day, which is a game that would have liked to have won. And we look a little bit undercooked. Again, going back to that summer window, we've lost the two strikers who got the most goals, joint top scorers Mustafa Bundu and Ryan Hardy, who are playing second tier football in Germany and Wales, respectively, this season. Not really replaced them. We have brought in Owen Aseni for £60,000 from Scotland, which, as you can imagine, for £60,000, he's not in any way, shape, or form a finished article. And Bim Peppel from Luton, who actually, despite what his stats and his scoring figures might suggest, um, has fit quite well systemically in pre-season. He seems to do everything that Cleverly wants from him. But he was injured for the opening game, and rather than play Oseni, we played Caleb Watts, new signing from who was at Exeter City and out of contract up front, who did really well, ironically, but he played in front of Oseni. So we look a bit short up front, and that continues to be the case, having missed out on Riman Burrell from Burton and Joe Taylor, who chose Blackpool over Argyle. Um, that's a big issue at the moment, as is, ironically, we thought wouldn't be the defence, which coughed up the most goals in the league last season and then lost its two best centre backs. One who was only on loan anyway, but Maxi Tolofierov, who had a buyout clause. So we kind of thought, well, we got championship centre backs, championship fullbacks, but they were the worst ones in the league by quite a way. And as much as you can blame some of that on the managers and the systems and the training, etc., I think that's been exposed more than we'd hoped it would be. At this level, ironically, some of the signings that have come in who haven't been the most exciting to as good as they have proven to be and as sound as they seem in terms of reasoning and logic and potential sell-on value, all the things that a sensible club would try and do with its signings, and they've done well in midfield. The back line has seemed shaky, the midfield seems okay, and we're looking just about able to hold our own in this league, but we don't look able to mount a title charge, and we look very thin on the ground between having turned over so many people, including a lot of our starters. I think we started with four players, maybe five, who were at the club 2 months ago on Saturday last when we played Barnsley. So massive turnover. We need some more players in. We've got injuries, unexpected ones included. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of where we sit, and I won't try and answer all your questions at once, but if we could play the reserves against yourselves, I'm pretty sure we would. But the case is that I don't think we really have a reserves at the moment. It will be whichever bodies are available. So yeah, it's been a very strange summer. We've been the chairman talked of top six budgets and being quite bullish about things, and having sold Morgan Whittaker for a massive club record fee. I say massive, respect, relatively for us, £6 million. He also sold um, other players like Lewis Gibson are probably our best centre back for 1.5 million. Um, we sold Michael Cooper for a decent chunk. And although we spent obviously in January and a little bit this summer, the fact that we've not been had more available, I think, has been a bit worrisome. And we're going to need to find some, I think, to compete in League One, but that's irrelevant to the cup, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, my next question was going to be around how strong do you expect the team to be on Tuesday night in the cup? It sounds like, yeah, Tom Cleverley's hands are a little bit tied in that regard. It's probably going to have to be more or less the first team, I'm assuming.
I think so. I mean, there's a little bit of depth in some areas, but like I said, we were playing Caleb Watts at striker, who is really a midfielder to all intents and purposes, though he acquitted himself very well. We've got injuries at left back, we've got injuries at centre back, and we were never going to have a big squad because Tom Cleverley stated that he likes a small squad, and the bonuses that brings, obviously, the risks that that includes are what we're now seeing when you can't get people in early in the window, and you have injuries. You're very limited in the options you have and the changes you can make. So there are a few changes which I'm pretty sure we'll see. I think we'll see our academy graduates, Freddie Asaka, maybe even Caleb Roberts if he's fit, start up front or out wide and in midfield respectively. But other than that, I think it's going to be pretty much as strong a team as we could possibly field because that's literally the only option that we've got currently.
You spoke a little bit about the sort of season ahead. You don't feel confident of a title charge. What are your sort of expectations overall? Do you still expect to be top half, playoff places? How are you and the wider fan base feeling?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of so we obviously did a season preview as a podcast, and we have an interactive sort of like comment section, etc. And the vast majority um, of predictions fall somewhere between sixth and 10th. And obviously you've got the Doommongers who are even lower, and the green tinted sort of happy clappers who are just, oh no, we'll be fine. It will hinge a lot on as any small squad will on who we can get back fit and who we can bring in. Um, but I don't think that realistically we can compete with some of the you look at the business teams like Huddersfield, Stockport, even teams like Blackpool have done, and it's quite impressive in comparison. And that would be fine if we'd retained the stock of our relegated team, but we haven't, and it is a rebuild. So we're essentially playing players we brought in who performed at the lower end of League One last season, League Two. And like talk about Bim Peppel, who Luton were quite prepared to sell to us, who hypothetically are a relegation, a promotion rival, but quite happy to sack Bim Peppel off, which isn't to say that he's not going to turn into a good player as a young guy still, but I think that sort of indicates where they valued him and sort of where our business is at the moment. So I think among the fan base, where everybody, well, 90% of people or more would be absolutely ecstatic to finish in the playoffs. And so that's kind of even playing our first team against you, that's kind of the level that you're likely to be expecting, that sort of caliber of team. And we shipped three absolute howlers against Barnsley on the weekend past. Barring some kind of transformation against Bolton, I suspect that we will be as generous against you guys. So I don't think you'll need to field your all of your starters to put us away. But that's the fun of the cup, isn't it? Hopefully you play all the kids, and it's a strange level playing field.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to talk us through Plymouth Argyle's current situation. To round us off, let's get your score prediction for Tuesday night.
Um, I will say 1-2. I think we might. If you're playing a weakened team, which I'm kind of hoping, then it might be competitive. But I think our defensive problems at the minute are just gonna show out, and your quality in the end will show through. You'll bring on someone if it still remains 1-1 late in the game, and you'll bring on some quality and put us to the sword. So I'll say 1-2.
Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining and all the best for the
Okay.
season ahead.
Thank you, and you.
Massive thanks once again to Ben for joining me for this one. Make sure to check out Argyle Live via the link down below. So, on to Rangers now, and if there was ever a cup game where we were going to throw out a load of youth players, it's surely this one. It feels a bit ridiculous to be saying that just 2 matches into the new season, but we know QPR never take a cup seriously, and with another couple potentially added to the medical room after Saturday, they're going to be wrapping that first team in cotton wool already. According to West London Sport, both Paul Nardi and Keely Adamson are expected to make their first starts of the season, while I'd also expect and hope to see most of Saturday's other subs in Ryan Colley, Harvey Vale, Roman Burrell and Steve Cook to be involved in a greater capacity. I'd also imagine that unused subs Emerson Sutton, Daniel Benny and Noah McCann will also feature, as well as some other development squad faces in Timothy Akindeleni, Jalen Pearman and potentially our recent addition of Tylen Smith. On that basis, this will likely be a real test for such a rotated side, despite facing an Argyle team that are yet to find their feet in League One. Rangers have been making it a bit of a habit of being upstaged by lower league opposition in this tournament in recent years too. Last season's foray to the third round against Crystal Palace very much an anomaly. In fact, QPR lost this exact same tie 3-2 behind closed doors away at Argyle back in September 2020 with Ryan Manning and Osman Kakai the scorers. So, score prediction time. This smacks of an early cup exit, of course it does, especially given Plymouth's start to the season, but I think we've got some talented players due for a run out that will be keen to impress Stefan, and I reckon some of the younger lads are going to do that. On that basis, I'm going for a KG 2-1 away win. So, over to you. What's your score prediction for this game? Who do you think is going to start? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this match preview and it's your first time checking out Hoopsa, please consider hitting like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video for my match reaction. Come on you Oz.